Hello everyone, this is Power X64 Plus, and today's video is interesting. So the Dell Dimension 3000 Sleeper PC is about to no longer be the Dell Dimension 3000 Sleeper PC. So basically we're going to be transferring it from that Dell case to this case, which is a turbo case from eBay. I don't know much about it. I couldn't find any information about it when I googled it, but what I do know is that it's a full ATX case, which is what we need for the upgrades I plan to do for this PC. I want to put a 1490 or equivalent GPU in it, and the Dell case can't hold that. This one should be able to hold it, and plus it's new old stock, so it's going to be in much better shape than the old Dell case. Anyway, enough talking, let's open it. That was surprisingly challenging to cut into. Styrofoam. Alright, how do we take this out? Okay, that's not how you take it out. Okay, that was more work than I thought, but we got it. Let me try and show you the back here. The camera would focus. It came with this power supply, which we're not going to be using. Came with a missing slot. I guess we'll see what that is. We're going to be replacing this I/O shield with our I/O shield. That's what the front looks like. I think this has some. This is supposed to have USB ports, if I could. Oh, there you go. It's supposed to be USB ports. Let's open it. Okay. We got a power cable for the power supply, some standoffs and screws, some PCIe bracket covers, silica gel. This is probably really old silica gel. And a shroud. I think this was for the side fan. Here it is. It's clean, as expected. No date on it, so I don't know how old this is. There is the power supply, which might have the date on it. See if I can take that out. This is a 420 watt power supply, so it's definitely not going to be enough for what we're doing. Turbo Link switching power supply. Still absolutely no indication of a date. I mean, this is nice to have for lower end systems, but this is gonna draw too much power. Oh, this is heavy. Alright, here's the Dell Dimension Sleeper. Side panel fell off while I was taking it up. The side panel falling off is one thing I'm not gonna miss. Alright. I think you know what we have to do. I have to take all these things out and then populate the newer, bigger, better case, which I still have no idea when it's from, but based on how it looks like something from like something made between either 2002 to like 2006. It looks like something from that time, just from how it looks. I have no idea how old that case is, but it's new old stock, so it's not like it matters. It's really just a curiosity thing. to know when it's from. It looks like it's the same era as this case. Oh, these troublesome front panel connectors. I'm probably going to use this in another PC because, I mean, the real plan is to build more than one PCs, but that's financially impossible right now. So it's just this case is not going to work for a 4090 build. It's too small. If I were going to put a 4090 in this, I'd have to delete these hard drives, and then that wouldn't even solve the issue, because then it's going to be pressing against the bottom of the case and it's not going to have enough airflow. It's definitely not the kind of case you want to be putting something like that in. So these drives, this thing is really too dirty to be putting on the bed, but I don't have enough space to do this stuff in here, really. I'm not sure if this new case has a speaker, if I have to migrate this. Let me just check. It actually has a speaker, so I don't have to migrate this old speaker. Cool. Have to take out the screw holding in the hard drive caddy. Hard drives, we don't need to use this hacked together thing, because there's actually adequate drive bays in this thing. No longer limited to what Dell decided to provide. As for the front fan, I might just delete that entirely. But when I'm looking at this other case, there's no space for vents on the front, so we might just relocate this front fan to the back. Yep, there's zero space for vents, as typical with old early 2000s cases. Alright, there's this thing which has our ports. I have to get this out. You know what? I might not use this, because I'm looking at the case and it has USB ports that use a standard connector, so I don't need to use this. I can use this in another PC, and plus, 2 of its ports have been destroyed, so optical drive is a must-have. You're not seeing it right now. One sec. Yeah, the optical drive is a must-have, so that's coming. Yeah, this is covered in dust, and it's really cheap. I think this was like $16. Still, it's very useful for sleeper builds, because pretty much any case that doesn't have USB ports or has a proprietary USB port connector, you can just put one of those in one of the drive bays and you're good. Optical drive is held in by one screw. Here it is. It's gonna look great in the old case. Our motherboard, I don't even need to worry about the screws, because this case comes with a bag of screws, which is amazing. So I don't need to worry about this anymore. I can just use the new screws in it. Okay, that leaves us with this fan, which I'm probably not going to install because it's noisy. This Noctua fan, I am going to try and get that out. And of course, our thing. And that's it. So, I was saying, we're starting with our power supply. Fits perfectly. Okay, I'm gonna try and do the drive bays. I can't seem to figure out how to get this front panel off. At least I'm too afraid to rough handle it, so I'm going to try and do it from inside. I need to break the standoffs. Here it is. Unfortunately, there's no date on this either. And as for this, I mean, this is just the most standard generic black drive bay cover, so it's not going to tell us much. There's a screw in here that should not be here. Now it fits perfectly. Okay, so for our hard drives, I can finally stop using this old 1990 something hard drive caddy. It is that old. I took it out of an old 90s PC that I did not do a video of, which I should have done a video of it. That would have been interesting. I know that this is really for your floppy drive, but it's 2024. I'm not using one of those, and my motherboard can't even connect one, so there you go. And then this is the much thicker one. This is from like 2009 and it's still going strong. A very reliable hard drive. It's not really much space to fit it here though. I'm gonna put it in the slot here instead. If needs be, this part might need to be cut out because the 4090 might not fit. Hang on, I think I have something somewhere in storage that can adapt like one of the big drives to hold this. Let me go see if I can find that. One moment. Okay, so I dug this up. It converts a 5 1/4 inch drive to a whatever the size of the floppy drive is. Oh. We're gonna take out the floppy drive and instead put in my hard drive. And we're gonna hope that this blank can cover up the hole. Let's hope that this fits. No reason it shouldn't. Nope, it's hitting the front of the case. No problem. Actually, that is a problem. Okay. How are we gonna get around this? Then it hits the front of the case here. But if we slide it in the other way, alright, so this is the solution. Just take out the hard drive and slide it in the other way. That fits, with only a bit of it jutting out. Oh my gosh, you weren't seeing it. So let's screw this in. Alright. So our 2 hard drives are secured. A bit more work than I'd like to admit, but it's done. Modern I/O shield with tape to block the holes I wasn't using. Yep. Fits like a glove. Oh, I forgot to put in the standoffs. Silly me. Okay, so I've installed the standoffs. Micro ATX is what's going in here. So because I want this to be done right, just gonna make sure they're all tight. Okay, well maybe not too tight. We don't want them to start stripping and then infinitely turning. That's good enough. And it looks like I got all the standoffs in the right place. First try. Well, that's not true. I did some of it off camera. Alright, let me check how many screws we need. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a very, very secure motherboard. Shouldn't get any strange vibrations from this. For our fan, we're going to use the Noctua fan in the back, and then that other fan is going to be retired. We want it venting out. I had a fan venting in and it made a lot of noise. No, let me just do a quick Google search. Is it supposed to be venting out or venting in? Okay. We're gonna have it blowing out, because that's what's better. So we're gonna plug it in and mount it probably like that. Only 2 screws will be fine. You don't need to put in all 4. It's not like this is a 1000 RPM fan or something. Well, maybe it is. This is for audio. It's cool that I can actually use the original ports on this because they are standard. USB. Looks like every other USB connector. And that leaves us with these. I'm gonna cut the camera and do that because I'm not gonna record that. Alright, so I just did that and it does work. At least the power button works. I don't know about everything else. Can't exactly do a proper test without putting the thing back together properly, so shouldn't be too hard now that we have all this space to work with. Okay, GPU. Alright, looks like I'm gonna need to break out 2 of these. Pretty sure that's it, so we're gonna do the power on test and see if it works. Wonderful. Okay, so the good news, it powers up. Bad news, RAM issue. That means I'm going to have to just keep reseating the RAM over and over and over and over and over until it works. Does it reset though? Okay, the reset button works. Alright, cool. I'll be back after I deal with this RAM nonsense. Okay, after struggling with the RAM, we got it working. Even the PC speaker works. I'm just gonna plug the monitor in and see if it shows anything. There you go. CPU fan speed error detected. Ensure that the CPU fan is... okay, what's going on with you? And it is detecting our 24 gigabytes of RAM. It does show the CPU fan working. At least using the optional fan port. That PC speaker is so much better than the old one. The old one was just tired. Alright, same error again. I think this is because I don't have a fan installed on the CPU fan header. It's installed on the CPU fan optional header, and the CPU fan header is empty. So this is making it complain. Wow, that hard drive LED is red and bright. I thought it would be orange. Anyways, there you go. That is Windows. I didn't plug in a mouse. Alright, I'm gonna finish putting it back together now that we know that this works. Alright, this is a look inside the computer after building it. Got our USB and front panel connectors, GPU, CPU. That's my drive bay hack, using those metal side brackets. This would be able to fit a 4090 if we do some like cutting here and potentially drop it down, although it would still be close to the floor of the PC, but it would be a much better fit than with that case down there. Alright, let me just put this back together so you can see it properly. Alright, this is a proper look at the front of the case. Our DVD drive. Our hard drive light, which is a very bright red. I'm wondering if that's going to bother me when I'm sleeping. I guess we'll find out. Power LED, which is a typical green LED. Power button. Really shiny. This really does remind me of that one eMachines case. And then your I/O, which I have not tested, but I will test it. To be totally honest, 2 USB ports is really all I need, even if it's 2.0. I don't want to put those ports on the front of this because, I mean, it would kind of take away from the look of the case, and plus, not exactly in the best of shape, but definitely I'm going to use it in another build. Here we've got the back. Doesn't look bad at all. Everything fits like a glove, being a standard ATX case. Even the I/O shield, our Noctua fan, and everything is in there. It's going to be much more quiet now that I replaced that other fan with the Noctua. And that's the side. It came with this scratch on it, but I'm not one to really complain about minor things like that, so I'm going to leave that alone. Besides, that has much more scratches on it. You're not seeing it because my camera isn't focusing. Now you can see it. That has much more scratches on it, so this is really nothing. And here is our case in its spot to replace the Dimension 3000 case. Looks like any mid-2000s computer, which is the look I was going for. One thing I did not do was test if the USB ports on the front work. So I guess we can test that with something. Alright, so if you're wondering about the USB ports, they do work. That's with my USB headset. The aux ports, or the 3.5-inch audio jacks, are what I'm going to test next. So I need to go get some headphones that use that. I just have to do some digging to find those. Let's plug it in. On the old build, the port on the front wasn't working because it was cheap. I wonder if it works now. No luck with that. Either I plugged it in wrong, or it's a driver thing. Okay, so we know that it can play music. Does the DVD drive work? Can't really show some of that. The DVD drive does work. You don't need to know what the files are, but the DVD drive does work. So that's good. So that's it. There's the new sleeper PC, which is really the same PC in a different shell. Again, I don't know when the 4090 is going to get put into this. Hopefully it can happen, because I'd love to do a video of putting a 4090 into this. It would definitely be one of the most powerful. Oh, I did not mean to drop that. It would definitely be one of the most powerful sleepers if I did that. But for now, this is good enough. So, thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.